Hello and welcome to the Gameplay Cast's review for the classic RPG Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The word classic is very much overused in the modern world, but this game is very much up there as one of the best RPGs ever made, and it was created at a time when BioWare were the best in the business. As of 2007, it sold a whopping 3.2 million units, which for an RPG in those days was big numbers, and still is by my calculations, as that means it outsold Star Wars Outlaws. Anyway, I digress. Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR for short, combined that turn-based BioWare RPG style with the DNA of the Star Wars universe. This was one of the first games I remember playing that had a morality system, which linked into Star Wars' light and dark side seamlessly. Do you play a noble Jedi protecting innocence and be a paragon of light, or do you take advantage of the weak and extort them to get what you want? What really kicks the game to the next level is that it offers players actual choices in how to solve problems, and the overall story is well written, delivering all the highs and lows of a Star Wars movie. The story starts with the player character waking aboard a Republic strike cruiser with no memory of who they are or how they got there. You have no time to ponder that though, as you must escape the Sith attack and make it onto the surface of the nearby planet Taris. From here, along with the young Jedi Bastila and an old soldier Karth, you set out on an adventure to defeat the Sith, discover what happened to your memories, and perhaps train to become a Jedi. In my opinion, there is no real question of should you play this game. If you like RPGs, then you need to play this game. It's not widely regarded as one of the best RPGs of all time for nothing. Keep watching to find out why, and to see KOTOR's score out of 10. This game does what few Star Wars games have ever managed, and that is that it fully immerses you into an epic tale with a story twist that took the gaming world by storm and probably hasn't been recreated since. Yes, we probably all know what it is, but just in case you don't, I won't spoil it for you. Suffice to say, the story and cast of characters are great. You'll get to know each of them throughout your adventure, and they are quite the motley crew. HK is obviously my favourite, even for someone who normally plays the game as a pretty straight-laced light side. I also love the old school levelling and turn-based combat system. This is what gaming of old used to be. A thinking man's sport. There was depth to the levelling, abilities and items. You had to choose your options and team wisely, otherwise a tough encounter might become an impossible one. You had to strategise and prioritise your targets and moves, balance your party selection based on the right skills and abilities. Proper, hardcore, good old fashioned RPG shit. Not the kind of milquetoast crap we get today. Equally, while the game is not as ambitious in scope as say Mass Effect, let's just ignore how they wiped out all your choices in Mass Effect 3, KOTOR lets you make meaningful decisions on how you approach the game. Do you assault the Sith base head on by breaking down the front door, or sneak in through the back? Do you kill all of the garrison even after they've surrendered, or let them go free? It always tries to offer you choices based on a light or dark path. Some of the options are a bit extreme, but you can forgive it, as if you want to be a wholly evil son of a bitch, you certainly can be. I mean, even as a light side character, I never missed the opportunity to force choke someone who was being annoying in a conversation. And this is what I mean, the game's never short of a satisfying moment you can and likely will have done differently to your friends. Even back when this game came out, it was considered a pretty big campaign, offering plenty of value for money. Now at £8.50 for 40 to 60 hours of gaming, it really is unbeatable value. Okay, so I'll take the rose-tinted glasses off for a moment. Where does the game fall down? Well, as a BioWare game, it definitely suffers from there being a lot of conversations with your companions, which can definitely be tedious, as in order to get some of them to their best, you need to build your relationship with them through the conversations. So you can spend hours running around the Ebon Hawk, talking to each companion following a mission. I can deal with a few conversations, but similar to Mass Effect, running around the ship to talk to everyone instead of playing the game can become dull. Equally, and this is common for most RPGs, if you meta the game's levelling system, you can very quickly break the game's combat and become extremely OP. And the vice versa is also true. If you spec poorly, you'll find combat extremely difficult at times, as well as miss out on certain areas and options if you can't lockpick or persuade. Definitely a minor gripe and one that is born out of giving players freedom of choice. If you choose poorly, you may eventually need to start again.
You chose poorly.
Obviously, it's quite dated graphically, and the controls and camera movement is not as slick as a modern game. Those playing on an ultra-wide monitor will also have the usual fun and games, setting it to windowed mode, but once you run through the rigmarole of adding in some of the player mods to improve things, it's still an excellent RPG.
Play it. It is your destiny.
Overall, this game still stands up as a monument to what gaming used to be. Yes, it's dated and some of the controls are clunky, but like your granddad always says, they don't make them like this anymore. You have to, excuse the horrible Star Wars quotes, but unlearn what you have learned. Gaming's not about shiny graphics and cutscenes, it's about escapism and depth of gameplay. This has it all. Full RPG character builds, deep story and characters, cool items and upgrades, interesting side quests and missions with meaningful choices, such as being able to kill some of your crew instead of recruiting them. What more can you say? This is a game from the golden age of RPGs, a perfect blend of IP, story and RPG. Few Star Wars games have ever come close to this one, and the story alone is worthy of a full feature film. Though not from Disney Star Wars, thank you very much. So while the game probably needs some PC modding, there's a guide on the Steam page for the game which I highly recommend you follow if you want to get the most out of the game. The relationships you form with your crew, the character you make, and the compelling story still hits the mark. It's easy a 10 out of 10. The low cost and RPG quality 100% offsets the clunkiness of some of the controls, the dated graphics, and the setup pain that comes with getting an old game to run well on a modern PC. But it's still very much worth the effort. Outside of Baldur's Gate 3, I really don't think many games come close to this one, even now, over 20 years from its original launch. My only real issue these days is finding the time to invest to play for that long. And I know that a remake is apparently still in the works, and while a true blue remake would absolutely make bank, given the patchy development history and the lackluster quality of the big studio releases at the moment, I'm more inclined to hope that the remake never comes out, as if they mess this one up, it's an absolute crime. But I'd happily also be wrong in this case. Anyway, this is the droid you're looking for. And as always, Erebus.